Oh, you have the same case as me. Or similar case, at least.
That's why I asked this. Actually looked like mine.
Whoa, you sound crazy.
Oh, I think you put an effect
I was gonna say, why the claps sound?
I think you put an effect on his voice.
I did.
Hold on. Wait, what the fuck?
Dude, you're auto-tuned.
You're like a robot.
Oh,
Check
these are
one,
the
two.
voice effects ones.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is a voice effect.
This is another voice.
Oh my god.
No, this thing's
No
like
way. That's so
stupidly-
funny.
This thing's like stupidly.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I do like the censor beep though. I think it gives me a good laugh. Just
Wait.
see.
Oh, that's on the next page.
No,
I think.
yeah, I think the censor beep is.
Yeah.
But that one also to me is like they're kind of similar. Fuck. I haven't done one of these in a while. This is weird.
Not to this scale either.
No,
was,
not to this scale. No, this is the first time, especially with these new lights I got.
Nice.
Nice. All right.
Very nice. Yeah,
Very
they look
nice.
very. Where'd you get? Oh, I think you know what? I might have the same exact lights.
The softbox ones?
Yeah.
No, I got them on Amazon.
Yeah.
There were, well, it was Boxing or Black Friday.
I think I have the same exact ones.
We don't
yeah.
want this.
They have big bulbs in them.
Yeah.
The huge twisty ones?
Yeah. And they gave you the white gloves to put them on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same ones.
Sans jacket. There we go.
I call those the P Diddy gloves because
Yeah.
they look like gloves he'd have. I don't know.
Yeah. He might.
Hi. Welcome to a chat with Matt. Welcome back to a chat with Matt, the 2024 retrospective. It's been almost, I don't even know when the last time I did one of these was. It was a long
COVID.
I feel like I definitely did one post. I definitely did a few post COVID, but it's just because I've been so busy, I just haven't had time to do this. And I also been trying to get to this level of actually sitting here and doing this in person, right? Instead of doing it all the Zoom shit.
Yeah, that's right.
And I also, you know, how I said I wasn't going to swear in the first 5
Yeah,
minutes.
we talked about this.
I gave up already. And on sound effects today, we have Andy Colonico. But guys, welcome back. It's been a long time coming, but we were chatting just before this about kind of the different positions the three of us are in going into 2025, and I felt this was the perfect pair to do this podcast with. So please welcome Myke Penney and Andy Colonico.
Hello.
Hey,
Wow.
thank you, everybody.
What a standing ovation.
Yeah, I felt it. You felt the energy in the room, right? But
Yeah, I feel great.
how you guys doing, man? We saw each other early this year when we did the Hero collaboration together. That was a fun project.
That was
for us to
awesome.
do.
That was so much fun. Yeah.
And now we're kind of getting to the end of 2024, and it's just, where'd the year go?
Yeah, I feel that way too. It's sort of flown by every year since 2016.
2016. So that 4 years pre-COVID, we're still
Yeah.
all a blur.
Oh, I'm still processing 2016. Yeah. I
Yeah, I
haven't
know.
gotten past it yet.
It's been a crazy quick year. Like I can't believe we're already it's like the holiday season right now. And I just feel like we've done so much, but also like I wasn't done with this year yet. But all good.
I got more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Well, and that's kind of what this podcast is about today, to kind of reflect on what we did this year and what we got going ahead, because the three of us we have so many different hats that the three of us collectively wear. We've all been in the industry now for a good while. And the thing is, I think we all know we're kind of stuck in this industry now at this point, because I don't know where else any of us could
There's
go.
no turning back.
Listen, you can
Pretty
stick
much.
with insurance, but you're not sticking with it. Especially with the next 2 years you have coming up, you are not going to be in insurance for much longer.
Hey, I'm down to do insurance, but I'm down to rock and roll. Down to do both. But I mean, if one thing gets busier than the other, I won't say no, you know what I mean?
God damn, you sound so deep and raspy on this mic. Are you doing a radio voice?
No, I had a
at
gig
all.
last night, so my voice is slightly more haggard, I think. It was a late
This is
night.
my natural voice.
Yes. Great to see you, Matt.
Where are you going? Almost Shatner. I kind of like it. But in terms of how are you guys doing in terms of since I last saw you? Like, besides all this, like we did the Hero collab, and then I kind of
That was like June, too.
that was
Yeah,
we put that out in
June or-
June. We worked on it March, April.
Was that it? Yeah. Well, oh yeah, that's
Jeez.
right. Yeah,
That's what I mean. Where'd the year go?
It was a while ago, wasn't it?
I know.
And yeah, because I did the drums for Hero during when I was
Another
recording Hell
session.
Yeah and
You
all
did?
that.
Really?
That was part of that session. Yeah.
and then I was part of the gang vocals for Hell Yeah because we came
Yeah.
in. I came in to do Hero.
Holy crap.
Inception. You're learning all the secrets.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Mike's house has just
crazy.
been crazy. Tonehenge
Wait,
is
you don't come into the studio and work on one song at a time?
yeah.
You're letting the genie out of the bottle.
Yeah.
But it's so funny like how much everything's like a spider web like with our group of people, you know, like
Totally. Yeah, it's
you know
crazy.
we're working on my stuff, then like, you know, oh I'm here, I'll do Matt's song on drums because we're gonna do that too, and then freaking
It's very incestuous.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, it's wild.
it's a productive ecosystem down here at Tonehenge.
That's blowing my mind how long ago that was actually.
And speaking of that, let's talk about that for a second. We're in your beautiful home studio here at Tonehenge.
Here we are. Yeah.
So how's that been going?
Great, yeah,
Because
really good.
how long you been here now?
We've lived here. This is my house. We've lived here for just over a year now, and
Feels
built
longer.
this- yeah, I
It does
know.
feel longer.
It
That's
does
that's
feel-
why I'm asking.
It feels like we've been here for ages. I don't know. It's weird, but we built it like right when we moved in, pretty much. And then it's been great. Honestly, it's worked out kind of better than I thought it would. And I've been doing a lot of my own music here now, and that was the main goal.
Well, of
really,
course, yeah.
is to be able
But-
to do my own shit.
But now it just so happens you have a good list of clients that you're already building that you're
Yeah.
gonna bring in and do more stuff, and you're only getting more and more people. 'Cause-
Totally, I'm trying to just reach out and talk to people. It helps that honestly it helps playing in bands because then you get to meet more bands and then you just
Yeah.
get that interaction with people, and then
I think it's
Yeah.
easier sell for a producer, especially when they're an active band guy.
yeah,
Because you're like, oh, he's doing the circuit, he's on the road, you got all your projects going, but you also have an appreciation for the production of music that maybe a more traditional producer might not have.
yeah. I think it gives me like a unique perspective on it because I've been on both sides. Then you know what I mean. Like I've been the one recording the band or the band being recorded, so it's like I can tie in those maybe loose ends a little bit for both sides, I feel like, and that's something I try to do. It's just like I put myself in the artist's shoes sometimes, you know, and then the other way around too and stuff like that, because it's like, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I've experienced that I didn't like, you know. So
Well, of course, yeah, and that's kind of the interesting part about the positions we're in now, because we've been in the industry for as
Yeah.
long as we have been. Like in retrospect to some of the guys that have been here, and they're still 70, and they're probably going to die behind their desks.
yeah,
But we've been holding out now for, I know for me, I've lost count, but I know I'm almost a decade and a half.
Yeah.
I'm getting close.
I'd say seriously for me about a decade right on the noggin right
Yeah.
now. That's where
Yeah,
we're at.
me
yeah.
too.
And even like when I started, I had no clue what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like so
we still kind of don't. but-
yeah, you know, but you just learn so much every year, and that year flies by. But like, and then it's crazy how much stuff changes quickly too. Like,
Yeah.
you know, even like what we were doing in 2021, that felt so new, and now I'm like, why would we ever do that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
just certain things. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Totally. It changes so fast.
Yeah.
Well, and this year especially has been so crazy because of all the stuff that you guys especially have been going. Like, yeah, my shit aside, but it's like we'll start with you, Andy. You got Revive the Rose.
Yep.
And we were just listening to some of the new stuff.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
that. Hush Hush, very secret.
But not for long.
Not for long, but it sounds like it's cooking something serious with those guys.
Yeah, honestly, it's been a journey and a half with the studio, but we've had Mike here, thankfully, who's just taking the reins on all these new songs and he's making them sound good. And one thing about Mike, which is great too, is that, and a lot of people know this, like you've just been so like tone, like it's all about the tones, you know what I mean? Like, and you've been like that even like just with your band, like when you're
Yeah.
promoting your band and your sound. So people already know that like you're passionate about capturing those sounds, which is like, it's very admirable. And also it's like, yeah, like this guy knows what to look for, you know what I mean? So he's been fantastic producing all the new Revive stuff and my country stuff too.
And
That's
that
right.
was the other side of the coin that we're looking at right now is the Andy Colonico Country Project.
Yeah.
How the climb that you've had because you've only been doing it about a year.
I checked the other day because I was genuinely curious. I'm like, I feel like I've been doing it for like 5 years. It's only been 1 year and 3 months.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You just crossed a year, and you already have the industry talking. I've heard about you from a bunch of people doing the country stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, a bunch of people are looking at you right now, and that's what you want. And it's just what I really wanted to have this conversation to talk about that difference between Revive and the Andy Colonico project, because I know with the country stuff, you have more control probably over the creative decisions musically.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So like, talk me through the difference with that.
Yeah, like Revive, it's great because in a sense we either like one of us will bring something as a whole to the table, then we kind of add our own flavor, or we just like all take a stab at writing something new, and that's fun. But there's some stuff that I write, and we all write a lot of stuff, and realistically, under one umbrella, you just can't drop everything sometimes. You know what I mean? And as an artist, I'm always striving to like just do all the stuff. So this new solo project has been kind of nice because and I completely understand why certain stuff wouldn't fall in the Revive umbrella. Absolutely. But like at the same time, I still got this song, you know what I mean? I want to put it out. So as an artist, I feel so good. I got these 2 fantastic outlets now where I'm just like, we got the rock and roll bangers with the boys over here. And then, I got kind of a more of like a singer-songwriter kind of thing going on over here now. And it's I feel like very healthy, like mentally now, like just with being able to just, pardon my French, shit out just so much music at once in a year now. There's no excuses why I got to wait to put something new out. Now it's like, okay, Andy's dropping something here. The boys are dropping something here. And it's like, it's always busy. That's why I like it.
Do you already have your 2025 kind of rolled out then in terms of when you drop in and where and what?
If you thought this year was crazy for me, like in the release department, it's like we're flushing the toilet finally from like the production to like the fucking to the masses now. Like it's gonna be insane.
Let's acknowledge that metaphor of flushing the toilet.
Like, yeah.
Don't talk about your music too highly, but
Yeah.
I just meant like there's a lot in the pool, and now it's going to be out to the masses, and there's a lot of it coming. So it's crazy.
Yep.
It is crazy. Between all the stuff I'm involved with, yeah.
Well, and that's what I mean. It's just you were going so hard with the country stuff this year, and I know it's basically groundwork for what next year is going to be.
Yeah, I didn't even mean for like I had no expectations with the country project. Like I was just like,
I remember talking about that, and you said to me, "You're like, I have no idea how this is gonna go."
Same, right? I was like, I don't know. I'm having fun, but like, my soul wants to put this music out. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. I just love making and putting out more music, and that's it. But like, I got real lucky with my first support tour back 2 months after I put out my first single.
Oh,
and,
that was 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just diabolical first 6 months. It was crazy.
But and this is part of the reason I want to talk to you guys, because the advantage of being in the projects you've been in and the acclaim you've already gotten, the experience you got, you're able to bypass a few of those initial steps that a lot of these new developing artists are making and nor need to make, right? Because you're just like, oh well, we know Andy of Revive the Rose, but now he's got this whole other market that he's being exposed to.
Yeah. I have definitely, like, we've been reviving the Jailbirds for a long time now.
Yeah.
And like, we've learned a lot because we've just started ground up with that stuff. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, when it came to starting something new, even like Wild High for you guys with, John Monster Truck, that was like his baby from the beginning. Yep. Jailbirds, Pete's and Revive, like, so going into something new, you got a couple educated brains taking a stab at it, and you're like, oh, I already know not to even bother with this, let's just kind of do this,
And speaking of the Wild High, that was the next thing I wanted to hit, because man, that group is gonna just soar in the next year.
Oh yeah,
the hits you guys are already putting out. It's just
thanks,
been
man. That's John.
Killers. Yeah, but you're a part of that too.
Yeah, it's like it is one of those things in this band where it's like he'll send the song, or Pete writes songs. I've got a couple that I'm writing too. We kind of all throw them in the pot, which is cool. And but we all sort of put our own spin on these songs too. Like the demos that John will send sometimes, like they turn out completely different when we end up playing them together. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's pretty cool.
So with this project versus Jailbirds, in terms of like tone, because one thing you are known for, and what Andy hit on earlier was your tone work, tone hedge. That's the whole thing, right?
Tone hedge.
So when you're creating your tones and writing these materials, like, are you taking a different approach between? Because Jailbirds is like more of a stoner rock kind of heavy,
It's
grungy, alternative kind of stuff. While
bluesy,
a bit of a bluesy element to it. While the Wild High, you're hitting more in the southern kind of element. You're still in the rock vein, absolutely, but you're partying closer to Andy Colonico than you are with the Jailbirds on that one. So,
totally, yeah.
so talk me through that mind process.
Which is exciting. There's a world where Andy Colonico and Wild High can share bills. You know?
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Boots and Hearts 2025.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
That'd be sick.
I know they're watching.
Yeah.
They're not watching. So, but in terms of that, like, what's your vision with that?
It was like a completely when I joined Wild High, it was like I had to relearn everything, if that makes sense. Like, because it was like I was so used to playing with sort of that, like you said, like Jailbirds, like guitar tone is just, it's raw and it's fucking loud and distorted and it's like it's chunky and shit and it's heavy and you can chug and all this stuff. Like my guitar, my Explorer works so well for some reason with this music for Jailbirds and stuff, and so it was like a whole new thing for Wild High because it didn't work at all for Wild High. It sounded wrong, it was just like, this is too much. So I ended up using my Strat, and I've had this Strat for a long time. It's a Warmoth, but I built or whatever, and that for some reason that guitar just fucking nails the tone for Wild High, and it just has the sound. It's great. And then amps wise too, I use a Fender Bassman that I have, and that thing is like the tone for that stuff. It just doesn't get better than that, really.
If you really can, and honestly, with both your projects, I'm so excited to see what you're coming out, especially with all the music you guys can be releasing next year. Because I know Jailbirds are going to have a bunch of stuff, Wild High are going to have a bunch of stuff, your country stuff's going to have stuff, Revive you're just looking at. It's such an exciting year for music when the language I've heard in the industry is like, especially the first half of 2025, a lot of people aren't going on the road because they're going back into studio to work on new records. I'm sure you guys have probably heard something similar.
Yeah, totally. And winter's recording time.
Winter is recording, but even into June, like some people are like waiting just for the festival circuit. But part of that is the economic changes that we're dealing with right now. And,
yeah, totally.
And how do you guys find that right now? Like the challenges of this year? Did you? Well, definitely more expensive. You know that. But like some more of the challenges that came up that you weren't expecting this year.
I mean, I guess like one thing I gotta say, like with this whole economic change is like, it was tough because Revive, we used to hit the road like crazy all the time, like no matter what. But now, it really comes down to like being pretty particular with what you gotta play. You know what I mean? Like, it's what it is. But at the same time, it's great because I'd rather just spend more time in the studio and getting more stuff going. You know what I mean? I think it's fun. The internet's such a powerful tool. Like it's like you might as well just keep pushing it all there and playing here and there more, until the time is right to do like big world domination shit like that,
Yeah, less shows that are bigger, less is more kind of thing.
Well, it's the quality over quantity argument, right? Because a lot of those shows that you're hitting the road playing, you're breaking even maybe.
Yeah,
but now that's the thing. You're now in a position where it's like you have to negotiate a better deal, and that's part of the thing that we were talking about earlier with like festival offers and stuff like that. Like how festival offers need to catch up to where we are economically versus not. But other than that, I got some questions I really want to ask you guys before we wrap this up.
Absolutely.
Sure. So we're gonna get into your little noggins here, all right? On these flashy new cards we got printed.
Cool.
Here at a chat with Matt, very high budget.
Cue cards.
Cue cards.
Yeah.
Let's start with the first basic one.
Oh.
So, any New Year's resolutions or industry-related goals for 2025? We'll go around here. Let's start with Andy here.
I got two for you. I got a personal one and I got an industry one.
Go.
Personally, I hope to lose 50 pounds next year. By the end of next year, I want to be 200 pounds.
My guy.
On the dot.
Beautiful.
Second one, though, is I'm going to play a gig in Nashville, Tennessee this year coming up. I'm going to do it. I already know it's cooking because I know I got their attention already, so I'm working on it.
You wanna name drop, or you wanna keep that?
Yeah,
in the
no,
pocket?
Whiskey Jam. I'm coming for you. I told you. And we're gonna do that drum solo that you're interested in for sure. We're doing that all as one country show for sure.
Well, that is going on TikTok and Instagram Reels for sure.
Absolutely.
What was it? Whiskey Jam.
Whiskey Jam.
Whiskey Jam Nashville. Book Andy Colonico for 2025. I'll look into all the cameras. Make it happen.
Hell yeah.
Mike, what do you got?
That's a good question. I should have thought of that while.
To be fair,
all
Andy
this other
did get a
stuff
look
was
at the
happening.
questions before we started.
Oh, okay. So I don't feel as bad now. Personal goal. Personal goal. I would like to drink less. That's the one I've been thinking about. I've been actually writing a lot of songs about that lately.
I know. I like that new one you
about
dropped,
drinking less.
East Palace. That was
yeah,
great.
Yeah, we played that one at the show there in November, and it's been a struggle for me. But it's it's one of those things where it's just my problem is I don't have any like what's the word I'm looking for, consequences if I drink a lot. Like if I drink so much, I don't get hangovers. That just doesn't.
Oh, boo hoo
You know
for
what I mean?
you.
It sucks in a way. I mean,
the older I get.
it sucks in the way that it just makes my brain go, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because then I feel like other people I see sometimes are like, oh, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to be hungover or something, and then it like stops them from doing it. And I don't have that.
The older I get, the worse it gets. Honest to God.
Everyone's like, it'll hit you one day. One time, I'm 30 and still.
I'm
still
not even
nothing.
30 yet, and I'm fucked.
Really?
No,
way.
dude, I'm 28. It's hitting me like a train.
Oh wow.
No, and on that's one of my personal goals actually for 2025 is because I know you've done the sobriety thing.
I'm hitting my
Yeah.
2-year mark on
Which-
January 1st.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck yeah, dude.
Huge.
That's
Congrats
awesome,
for that.
man.
Wait,
That's
man.
killer, dude. Hit me on the fist.
Thanks, boys.
That's hard to do, man. That's really good. That's killer.
But see, then the problem was though, which led in my next year's resolution, which I already started, was I ate more shit and drank more pop, and now I gotta fix that, So it's like, but that was a crutch during sobriety, and you just kind of. But now I'm kind of used to, just being social without all that stuff now, and I don't know.
Well, you've always been a really social guy anyway. But,
Yeah.
now it's just when you're sober, and you guys both, it's clearer.
It is.
You're more
Yeah.
on the ball. You're more ready to do it. You're more up for anything. Really.
Totally.
And especially when we go to especially these industry events, which I know next year there's going to be a lot more industry events and stuff like that for us.
A lot of those guys don't drink either. Like I remember when I was trying to be like, hey, you want some bar down lager to some people? And they're like, quit beer, man, quit beer. And I'm like, really? But now I'm like, yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by Bar Down Lager,
Yeah.
which low keys aside, great fucking beer.
Thank you.
It's a
It is
great beer.
tasty.
Available wherever
Yeah.
you can find it.
I
But
love it.
okay, so moving on from that. Ooh, this is a nice one. Nice wholesome one to give us a moment to reflect on. Your favorite memory of 2024, either professional or otherwise. But Mike, if you any memories come to mind, or you need a minute?
First one, I'm just gonna say with the first
Go.
fucking thing that comes to my mind. Being a huge fan of Monster Truck, and stuff over the years. It was cool to play a festival with Wild High, John Harvey, obviously singing, and we played some Monster Truck songs, and that was really cool. And that was like a fucking huge high moment for me because it was just like, oh, this is like I've been on that side, you know what I mean? So it was kind of a moment where I really was like looking around and just like absorbing everything.
And I'm sitting here going, they're probably going to be hitting arenas in the next year.
Yeah. That was the Theory of a Dead Man show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was there. Yep,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
right. You were there. Yeah, Norfolk County Festival.
They had
Yeah,
bonfires
yeah.
in the backstage area. It was
Yeah,
great.
dude. Oh my god, that was cool. Them in Saint Asonia was the festival. And actually, I was on tour in the East Coast with Jailbirds. at the
Right,
time.
flew
I
down.
remember, and you flew
And
back. I
flew
remember the
back.
stories.
We unfortunately had to cancel one show. I actually almost would have made it work had this flight sort of. I think something changed or something, but it was like it was like within a couple hours I would have been able to fly back and been
Yeah.
able to do the Jailbirds show in PEI. Would have been, but unfortunately we had to cancel that night. And luckily the boys in the Jailbirds were just super chill about it. And because of course it's a good opportunity. And so I flew back and forth, man. That was fucked. I didn't get any sleep that entire weekend. I was up for like 2 days or something straight.
Oh, crazy.
It was cool.
Andy, what do you got? What's a nice memory from 2024?
I'm going to bring it up again. Nashville, Tennessee. Never went
Yeah.
there in my life. Went there twice this year. And the first time I went up with Pete in my band in Wild High. And we wrote and recorded a country song in Nashville the first time we went around. And like, I'm so proud of that song too. But I told him, like, first time we go there, I want to record. Like, I don't want to just go there, like I want to get shit done right off the hop there. And that was a really awesome memory doing that road trip, not once but twice. So I guess that's definitely it's up there. And hell yeah, getting on country radio. That was another big memory, and just something that threw me for like a. What's it called?
A loop?
Came in, threw me for a loop. Yeah, came in left field.
One of those circle things. Well, hell yeah is a win for both of you guys.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
huge, man. That's wild for me. I should have said that actually, because that was a huge moment
that's why
too.
it's been a good year.
Yeah,
It has been a good year.
it actually has been a really
Tone
good year.
Henge and Andy C in their first year of inception have been doing all right.
That was literally like, I think that was the first song that came out from here.
Was it?
I think hell yeah, it was the first like release or something that was finished and everything was out and stuff. And
Right, because the no service stuff before that was remote, where it kind of did.
that was all at my other house.
Yeah,
that wasn't in this space at
well,
all.
shit.
Yeah,
That's a
so-
good first impression,
yeah,
man.
ex-
Holy.
exactly. It works well. Did something right, I guess.
For
Good.
Here's the win. For me, I've had a really interesting year because it's like I finished one job and I started another job,
Right.
and then like the summer. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of took summer off. I literally laid by my pool for 2 months.
Yeah.
It's the first summer I've had off in years.
Yeah, sometimes you need that.
I needed that reset. I needed that shake in the head to kind of get, I don't know, like the last couple of years, especially post-COVID, I'm sure you guys dealt with this to some extent, like that overwhelming feeling of you have 1.5 million things to do, but you're so overwhelmed by it, you don't know how to react to everything in that moment.
Where do you start, sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly that. And that was the one challenge I got over, because my mentality on it it's a bit morbid, but it's because recently I almost lost my father. He made it through and he's fine. But my mentality after that was, you don't really know how much time you have left here.
Yeah.
And I want to really maximize and make the most of my time here and do everything I can to lift. This is what it is for me now, because when we met, I was on the performer side of things. And now I'm not, like, at all. And I think for me, it's allowed me to reprioritize what's important to me, but to also give me direction for what I want to do with my career, which is, A, help rebuild the Ontario scene to what it was pre-pandemic, or even better than that, to be honest with you. And then just trying to help those artists be the best they can be and show the industry that indie pop's not the only thing that needs to be signed right now.
Yeah. No, man, I respect that so much, man. That's so awesome. And sometimes you got to unplug sometimes, man. You really do.
Yeah.
And you got to like
Recharge.
think with a different kind of brain, sometimes it's like, I don't know. Sometimes we're just so used to cramming so much in, but sometimes you just got to step back and like kind of look,
Well, and that's the good thing. Life and circumstance sometimes forces you to do that, and then it just you're able to really reflect. And the saying is, hindsight's 20/20, right?
Yeah.
So it's just learning and growing and evolving. But honestly, next year for all of us is going to be just fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked for it, man.
Ooh, this is a good one. This is kind of more industry related one. What would you say was the biggest trend in the industry this year, either on any level of it, either locally, internationally? Because like the big thing that comes to mind for me was the year of the pop girlies, like the Sabrina Carpenters and the Charlie XCXs and the Chapel Roans. Like that was kind of on the forefront for the mainstream media. But in terms of like other trends aside from that, anything come to mind?
First thing that comes to my mind is everything felt like country music.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah, no,
But it
you're
just-
right.
Everything was like, Post Malone did his big album, and then like it just felt like, didn't like Machine Gun Kelly do
Pop punk.
a
Oh,
he did
or
a-
Jelly Roll. Him
Jelly-
and-
Jelly
yeah,
Roll.
they did do a country song.
And
Yeah.
Beyonce did a country,
The country album,
thing.
right?
Everyone did a country album. Nickelback did a fucking country song or something.
Well, Nickelback wasn't far off country to begin with, to be
guess.
fair.
I guess,
but-
but
Yeah, Andy, fucking country projects.
yeah.
Copying
We're looking at
Beyonce.
you. Yeah.
People kept planting that seed in my head. They're like, and everyone's like, "You sound like Luke Combs," and I'm
Yeah,
like, "I don't
you
know,
do.
man." Like,
No, but it's like authentic for you. Like
Yeah,
Machine
it's
Gun Kelly doing it or something was just kind of like it just felt like doing it because it felt
Everyone
like
saw
everyone
Jelly
else
Roll.
wants this.
It's
or
like everyone
something, you know?
saw Jelly Roll and got excited and were like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
want to work with him."
Maybe I should do that too, and it just becomes off unauthentic or inauthentic. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
someone just just do your thing. You know.
Did either of you listen to the Beyonce country album?
I just listened
I
to the
listened
one.
to the one song.
Yeah, I
but-
only heard the one single. I didn't
Yeah.
hear the album.
Thank
I never
you,
listened to
hold
The I didn't take. Oh no, the other one I heard was the Levi's jeans ad. I kept getting on TikTok.
Oh,
for-
yeah.
Oh yeah, with Posty there. Yeah.
yeah. That gave me a good laugh.
that was funny.
I will say TikTok photos. That's a trend this year.
That was that did become a big thing this year analytically. For
I try
TikTok.
so hard. I'm like, here's a nice video for you, TikTok, and it's like, hey,
Fuck you.
Thanks, yeah, but go fuck yourself. We want photos. We don't want to be Instagram, but give us photos. So I don't know what that was about.
Weird.
I feel like social media is changing every day.
It is.
It really, really is.
We need a new name for it or something too.
Ugh, and that too.
It's not even social anymore.
Okay, this is a good one to pick your brains with. How did your role or perspective in the music industry evolve this year?
Ooh.
That's a bit of a thinker, that one, eh?
It is. I think I've just been really focused on being like primarily an artist this year, versus I kind of was like an even Stevens of everything.
You were a jack of all trades there for a while.
Yeah, but like even I kind of put the events hat down for a bit, and I'm just really enjoying just writing and putting music out right now, and it's just a lot of fun, man. I don't know. I think I would say that's the one thing that has evolved the most. I haven't really even thought about booking like a festival or something like that right now. I'm just like
Are you telling me One Big Day isn't returning soon?
it might be, but I don't know, man. I'm just so hungry for that studio right now. That's it.
Mike, any evolution industry wise this year for you?
Can you repeat the question? Actually,
I said.
I forget
How
the wording
did-
of it.
How did your role
Okay.
or perspective in the music industry evolve this year? 30 seconds.
Role or perspective. Okay.
Would you like a definition and country of origin?
Yeah, actually. Can I call a friend?
Andy?
I
Well-
would say the biggest thing was moving into Wild High because the Jailbirds, my role in that band is like leader. I kind of manage and do a bunch of stuff, and I record and I write and I do all this stuff for this band, and happy to do it. It's my baby. But then Wild High is completely different than that. It's just I play guitar in that band, and yeah, like I write some stuff and I have involvement. Not to say I just don't have any say or something, but like it's completely different. It's just like also I don't have to sing, so that's a big one.
You're not doing backing?
I do backups, but
Yeah.
I don't consider that.
You're not doing what John's doing.
I'm not the lead singer in that band, so there's way less pressure. And I mean, sometimes I sing a lead line here and there, and like some backup vocals. Sometimes
You're more on
you know.
shred duty.
But it's just I can just like it's
General
actually
shred.
it's really nice to sit back and just kind of play guitar sometimes, and it's cool. And I don't have to. I actually like found myself. Not that I like stress out about Jailbird shows, but I'm always like thinking about them. You know what I mean? Like they come up and I'm like, okay, well I gotta make sure I fucking drink water and I gotta do all this stuff for my voice, and that's mainly what it is. It's the voice.
Yeah.
And so I got to do all these things that I like to do to prep for it. But then with Wild High, I noticed myself kind of going like the day of the show, like, oh yeah, there's a show today. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like, this is nice. I kind of like that. It's cool. It's a different thing. So that's why that's really my role change this year is learning that space, because I'd never really done that before. So
Yeah. Going from that leader position to more of just a member position.
yeah,
which-
exactly.
No, it's very refreshing.
It was very refreshing, and it was eye-opening, and it taught me a lot of things too. Actually, I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am, because yeah, it taught me a bunch of shit. My microphone stand is just being a fucking asshole, so I'm just changing it. 1 second. It should have been a boo, really. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's okay. That one works.
oh, that one's nice.
There's no boo.
I like the crickets.
Oh, you gotta manually.
For me, well, it's what I was kind of talking about before. The evolution I realized was you sometimes really do need to take time to reflect and just process and deal with things. And then you can give that whole new perspective going forward. But yes, that's a good one gone. Ooh. What's one piece of music related advice you received in 2024 that really stuck with you?
Ooh.
Or otherwise.
I got to think on this one quick.
Yeah, me too.
Some wise man in Nashville was at a dusty crossroads and was asking you to pick a path.
I don't even know. You got anything right now?
The first thing coming to my mind is, I can't remember who said this to me, but it was like, don't, it's hard to phrase it, I guess. I don't remember exactly how it was phrased, but essentially the idea was just like, don't worry about what other people want or something like that. You know what I mean? Just write what you want. And it was like, fuck like writing for radio. That was kind of the thing. You know what I mean? Because some people get wrapped up into that. It's like, oh, I got to write a hit song or something. I gotta do these things, and it has to be this long, and it has to have this, and it doesn't have to have any of that. Just fucking write a song and just whatever goes in there. You know what I mean? That was kind of refreshing, because sometimes you get like wrapped up in all that stuff, and there's all these rules, and sometimes to the same effect of taking a break. It's like, throw the rules away. You know what I'm saying? Just do whatever you kind of want to do.
Yeah, Nick. Honestly, man, yeah, and people crave authenticity like never before right now, man.
Totally.
I don't know if I've gotten like, I got a lot of advice in the previous years leading up to this year, which is why I think this year's gone really good. But I would say I'd like to add to that though. I think the thing I realized the most this year is just being so unapologetically yourself, no matter what. And like Mike and I, we recorded down here, and didn't have no fancy schmancy things on it. It was just as honest and straight up as it was, and just two brains at it, and we're on the freaking radio now. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. I think just being yourself and doing things the way you want to do it, I think that actually takes you farther sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that was sweet, actually. That was really sweet kind of end to that one. Yeah.
Is there an awe sound?
Aw. The exact opposite. There you go. There's your aw sound.
But I will say, though, co-writing is very important, and you do learn a lot from that over the years. So nothing wrong with co-writing, but I just think, if your gut's saying, I'm comfortable here more in this studio, with Mike, then do that, because it's probably just going to gel way better anyway. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying.
No, go with what you know. It's the best you can do.
If you know that shit's catchy, you know that shit's catchy, man. So you just stick with it. That's it.
And you're more capturing
All right,
vibes too with recording.
All right,
right?
we got a couple more here.
Yeah.
Based on what you've seen this year, where do you think the music industry itself is headed into 2025?
Well, definitely a large influx of yeehaw for next year. That's for sure. Yeah.
Even more yeehaw, you think?
Yeah.
All the yeehaw.
But lost Southern rock though too, which is like Wild High kind of vibe, that's definitely that ain't going nowhere,
Yep.
I think that it's not a bad guess though, because it was like what you guys pointed out. There was a lot of acts that turned kind of country this year.
Yeah.
Or they tried it or whatever.
Or
a lot of people were just sort of jumping on it, jumping on the train or whatever. I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those things that is unpredictable. You know what I mean? Because this year I was I would have never guessed at the beginning of the year that you'd have Post Malone release a country album, for example. That's wild. I would have never told you that.
It's
a
so
year ago.
good though.
It was a great record. Yeah.
I love it. It's awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, I mean, things are coming back. I think I'll just say that. Like,
More festivals, I think, are
there's
coming back
there's
too.
more festivals now. Seemingly, even venues are starting to pop up more now. I think we're past.
Yeah, we had like a little rut.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
especially like 2020 to 2022, things are closing all the time, and everything was stopping. and
Even then, though, there
it's-
is still some concern about venues closing over the next year.
totally
Because
yeah.
it's just because, well, depends on what government we get in, and we kind of all know what government's going to be voted in next, based on what's been happening especially the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
But the concern I have with the industry and those festivals is a lot of them are going to be popping up. But my issue is, and you guys will relate to, especially with the authenticity argument, a lot of it I feel like is going to be more corporatized and focused more on that mainstream. So like the rock, yeah, you'll definitely get more of a country element, but I feel like it'd be like more of a pop country they'd focus on rather than a rock country, because they're going for the biggest possible net of general listeners, right? So, which I understand. You got to make money. You got to do what you got to do, and the game's the game. But if we can try and, I don't know how to say this. The thing that we all really need to do, I feel like, is kind of collaborate a lot more, communicate a lot more, and just be more forefront and open with each other, especially when it comes to the business dealings in this industry. Because the thing that 2024 taught me was a lot of people are reverting back to what they were doing pre-pandemic in terms of like their behaviors. And I'm referring to like the major levels of like agencies, managers, labels, stuff like that. Because they don't have the economic flux right now to take risks on developing artists, or only take risks on very certain developing artists. Like, I'll give you an example with I think it was Atlantic. They just dropped like 95 to 99% of their roster or
Damn.
something like that.
really?
Well, because most of it was like multi-million-dollar TikTok deals.
Oh,
And that's the issue with the TikToker, which something you said earlier, the fuck writing for radio, fuck writing for TikTok.
yeah,
Just write for writing,
yeah,
right? Like the biggest thing that the industry needs to do more of is independent artists need to make a more intense focus on authenticity and just being themselves, and try and not worry about the major industry involvement until you're at that point.
yeah,
Yeah. And honestly, a lot of those TikTok guys too, they got their start from covering something. Like Talk, for example. Talk, before Runaway to Mars, he went viral for the House of the Rising Sun cover he posted.
It was a good cover.
Yeah. Or Cameron Whitcomb, killing the country scene right now. Him and that girl from Sarah Beth from American Idol, they covered songs together and they blew up. People already like kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like now he just kind of like, hey, I built the following, and here's stuff I am authentically writing, like
yeah.
so people think, oh, I gotta write for TikTok, but all the good people that you follow on TikTok, that's not exactly how they started either,
Yep, exactly.
So-
There's no rules,
Yeah.
And one last question for you guys before we wrap this up today. And it's kind of a nice, wholesome way to wrap this up, I think, as we head into 2025 with our heads held high, heads full of ideas, dreams, maybe a little fear. Who knows? What is your biggest hope for the music world next year? What is your biggest hope for the music world?
That is a great question. I don't know. What are you thinking, man? What are you thinking?
I hope that. Oh, I got one. I hope that this would be the biggest thing for the music industry in the entire world.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Do we have a drum roll effect?
Oh, dude, that would have been great.
That's
gonna be
if it
that.
doesn't go well.
That's gonna be that.
That's
though.
if it doesn't go well.
I was gonna say the long anticipated album from Tiger King should come out in 2025, because that would just shake the entire planet.
That would shake the entire planet.
What's his fucking name?
Yeah.
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic, yeah.
He had the world in his grasp
Dude,
during COVID.
He had
I
us
remember.
by the balls.
He did.
Yeah.
And he fumbled it.
He's trying to hit up Rogan and stuff. I always see him commenting. He's like,
Imagine
yeah.
a Rogan
Have me
interview.
on.
Dude, I follow
or Theo Vaughn.
I forget his last name. His name's Matt.
Theo should have done
He's married to Hillary Duff. I follow him on Instagram. He's really funny. He's a musician. He's really great. And he always talks with Joe Exotic on Instagram or something. And like I think he's in jail or something. Right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so they talk online and
Well,
are
it's good
always
they're
like,
keeping him busy.
we're gonna collab, make a song and stuff. And
Down.
I've just been like waiting for it.
Is Hillary
Freaking
going to
awesome.
be a part of it, or?
I hope so.
Oh, imagine.
That'd be cool.
Wake up, wake
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
I feel like he'd have the Little John approach of just ad-libbing.
Just ad-libbing over it.
Andy, what do you got? What would your biggest hope be for the music world?
I just hope our economy could just shift back to deflate a little bit. I think honestly, I could wish a lot of things, but I think that alone makes touring a lot easier. You know, I really, really hope to see some positive changes in the economic status of Canada.
That's a big one. That really
Yeah,
is, and that's
yeah.
the thing. That's not just for the music world. That's just for Canada as
In
a whole.
general, yeah.
Yeah.
because it's been tough.
Even like McDonald's ain't like cheap anymore either. Like, you know, like you want a McDouble to get by. Now I gotta go to Costco. Costco survived inflation. You know, like I gotta go eat there like
Yeah,
7
We
times a
went
day.
from touring to guys, McDonald's.
Well,
is
like you-
so fucking
I
expensive.
remember seeing the prices.
I remember touring and
Back
being
in my day.
that was like a tour relief to go to McDonald's, you know? It's
It
like, oh,
was.
it's affordable, you know? Now it's like
Totally.
shit.
God, that gave me a good cry. But honestly, for me, I like what you said, Andy. It's that hope of the economic situation working out. And that'd be one thing for me, especially. I agree because, well, the ML group is starting to produce shows next year that you guys know that across Ontario. So for me, I'm going to be traveling a lot. So if we can get the gas situation figured out, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah,
That'd
just
be sick.
it goes to every factor, guarantees, like fee, like
Everything.
room fees, like everything.
Yeah, everything.
You know?
Well, everything's fucking doubled right now. It feels like.
And then
It's just
promoters
crazy.
are like, this is crazy, you know what I mean? Like so
Oh
like,
yeah. No, I've been talking to some people. It's just been fucking shit's all over the place. But we'll see what happens in the next year. And friends, that'll do it for the 2024 A Chat with Matt retrospective. Andy, Mike, thank you guys for agreeing to do this with me.
Thanks for having us on,
Hit the
man.
sound. Hit the sound.
What sound?
Oh.
Oh, that's the sound.
That's the sound.
We did it.
We did it.
We made it. Listen, thank you guys so much. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you guys all for watching, listening, subscriing, whatever else you want to do. I don't know how to.
Which camera do I look in, by the way? I
Whatever-
should have asked a long time ago.
You're asking at the end. Well, we
This
got. Yeah, I suppose. Any final words? Anything you want to say to your future selves if you watch this back 10 years down the line?
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep your stick on the ice.
You miss 100% of the goals you don't take. 100%
true,
of the shots
man.
you don't take.
that's true, man. Wayne Gretzky said it right.
Wayne Gretzky did.
That's who said it right.
You did.
I don't know who
always-
said that.
I feel like he probably said it.
I always mix that up. I always say like Michael Jordan or somebody. It's one of those guys. One
It's
of those
one of the
really
best.
good athletes.
One of those
said
sports
this.
people.
One of those guys
He
who
said, keep your stick on
they
the
all.
ice.
If any of those guys said that, I would believe it. You know what I mean? It checks out every time. It doesn't
Anyone
matter.
else, though?
Doesn't matter who said
No.
it. As long as it's one of those guys.
True.
Like, doesn't matter.
All right. Friends,
Anyway, thanks for having me on. I
Of
appreciate
course.
Yeah,
it.
thanks for having us, man.
Any final thoughts?
What's that?
Any final thoughts?
No, love you, bro. Thanks
Love
for
you-
having us on,
Love
man.
you guys too.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you guys so
Cheers.
much.
Thanks for
Enjoy it.
listening. Yeah.